Hi Aries, happy early birthday to those of you who celebrate in March, and welcome to your March 2020 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And as far as personal readings go, I'm actually not going to be offering those until most likely April. But if you are interested in that, just keep an eye out on the community section of my channel for more info there. As far as what we have in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread as always. And then we have a couple of oracle cards we'll take a look at once we get through that, and also a mudra card. So let's get started. In the main situation position, we have Temperance. So this is actually the major arcana card for Sagittarius. And for some of you, of course, that can mean that maybe you're dealing with the Sagittarius. Maybe this is going to be a focus on foreign matters, maybe higher education for some of you. But what I'm seeing here more than anything is I'm also thinking of the fact that the ruler of Sagittarius, Jupiter, has moved into your 10th house. So I'm really seeing that for a lot of you, this is probably going to be related to your career life as well, and maybe finding a balance there. Maybe even finding something that you find pays the bills, but also you feel an emotional attachment to it as well. That's how I could see this playing out for some of you. Obviously, you guys have had a lot of heavy energy in your 10th house. And Jupiter there can alleviate some of that to a certain extent, but, also at the same time, if there are issues, it will even bring a bigger spotlight onto them. And then you guys are going to have your ruler, which is Mars, moving into Capricorn as well, and it's going to be there all throughout March. So definitely some indicators that are pointing more to career for a lot of you, for me, than actual 9th house matters, but could be either one. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the 10 of Wands, so more Sagittarius energy here. And really, I'm still seeing this as an indicator of that shift that Jupiter made out of Sagittarius into Capricorn. And the theme that I'm seeing here with these two cards is this is saying finding a way to work smarter rather than harder, basically. That's really the vibe that I'm picking up on here. This is saying that maybe you have been working very hard, and maybe this is saying that you have to have a little bit of faith too, because with this 10 of Wands energy, I could see to where maybe you might have lost sight of your goal, maybe feeling like you'll never get there, for example. And that could be coming up as a challenge because it's saying that, you do have to have a little faith that, hey, the work that you have been putting in will pay off. And especially given this month too, Jupiter is actually pretty deep into, well, at least by the time we get to the end of March, I should say, Jupiter will be pretty deep through the sign of Capricorn, and it'll be conjunct Pluto too. So you have to be mindful of that too, where you might want to feel like you have to be in total control of that area of your life. And this could just be saying here to give it a little bit of breathing room and just have a little bit of trust and faith that things will work out the way they need to. In the foundation position, we have the Ace of Wands. So to me, this is another thing that points to that energy that I'm just feeling for you guys, which is saying, how to work smarter rather than harder, right? That could be a big theme that you guys are going through right now. Just trying to figure out a way to make things happen. Maybe you're trying to consolidate some things as well, for example, because we see the 10 wands there, and then here we see one, right? So you're trying to think to yourself, okay, right now I'm taking on all these tasks at once, right? How can I consolidate this and just make it a more streamlined process? So that could be what I'm seeing there. And then for some of you, this could just be saying that you're ready for a new start altogether. Maybe where you are now, you feel like you've gotten as far as you can, right? And maybe you're feeling like, okay, well, this is cool and all, but for example, all right, let me just give you a generic example. Let's say you've had a corporate job that you've been in for a long time, right? And it's brought you a certain level of success, right? Those 10 of Wands, they are worth something. But maybe you feel like it just doesn't really speak to you on a soul level, right? So you're like, okay, well, I've reached this certain level of success here, but it's not as fulfilling as I hoped it would be. And, like I said, given all those heavy energies moving to your 10th house, I could definitely see where that could be the case. And maybe some of you are trying to figure out, okay, well, should I start something new, right? Should I continue down the same path, or maybe start something brand new that would speak to my soul in a certain way? Past energy, I see the Empress and the King of Swords. So interesting energies here. I mean, very different, but what is interesting to me about this, the Empress, Obviously, we see the Venus symbol there. Usually, I view this as more of a Taurus energy than Libra, even though they're both ruled by Venus. But seeing this, and then also the King of Swords, which is actually the court card for Aquarius, makes me think about the fact that we do have um, Uranus, which is the ruler of Aquarius, in the sign of Taurus, which is your second house of finances. So this could just be saying that that could have thrown your financial life into a bit of upheaval as well. Or at the very least, it has you thinking of ways to be innovative in that area too. Where, how can I get to this Empress level, right? Again, so how can I shift from this Ten of Wands where I feel like I'm working, and not really being able to enjoy the rewards of that, to actually being able to enjoy the fruits of my labor, right? And that could be what's heavy on your mind right now, just trying to figure out how best to go about that. Um, and on a more mundane level, this could just be pointing to maybe some of you dealing with a Taurus, and possibly as far as a timeline too, maybe this could be something that you might have started thinking about around the time when we had the Aquarius new moon, because it basically caused a square between the sun and moon in Aquarius with Uranus in Taurus. So that could have been where, again, you started to reconsider your finances at that point too. In the present position, we do see more Taurus energy here. This is the Seven of Pentacles. So again, Taurus being your second house of finances, I'm really thinking that you guys are looking at, how much work you've been putting in versus how much you're getting from that work. So that's what I'm really feeling there, that you guys are really just trying to think to yourselves, okay, I've invested a certain amount of time, energy, resources into this path, right? And has it gotten me as far as I'd hoped? With this energy, I do have to say it looks like you probably would end up feeling a little bit disappointed if you did think of things in that way. So this could just be, again, you reconsidering how to tackle that area of your life, especially given that at the bottom of the deck, too, we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is Capricorn energy. So again, we're seeing that 10th house connection there. And then, actually, oddly enough, we see more Sagittarius energy, too, because we have the Knight of Wands. So I feel like this is just asking for you to have a little bit of faith in that area. In the near future position, we have the Three of Swords and the Three of Cups. So again, very much opposite energies here as well. This is actually Libra energy, and then this is Cancer energy. So I do have to say, now let's say if this is around romantic relationships, I'm not really picking up on much of a vibe there, but if that were the case, most people would probably look at these two cards and immediately jump to the conclusion that, oh, I'm going to find out about a third party and it's going to break my heart, right? Now, to be fair, we do have to take into consideration that these two cards did come out, so for some of you that certainly can be the case, but given the order that these two cards came out in, I would say it might be more likely that this is you actually moving out of this state of mind toward a more celebratory state of mind. So, this being Libra energy, most people automatically think romantic relationships, but that's just partnerships and contracts in general too. So this could even be you, maybe moving out of a disappointing partnership in some way, shape, or form and actually being able to celebrate that. I do have to say, like I said, both of these cards are out, so we do have to consider both of them being here. But I would have to say, if it were a third party thing, I would feel more inclined to lean that way if the cards came out in this order, where we see the Three of Cups first, followed by the Three of Swords. So the order they came out, to me at least, makes me think that for most of you, it's more that you're moving out of a state of mind of disappointment and towards some happiness. And to be fair, it could have been about a romantic disappointment, but if that's the case, I feel like it's already passed, and this is just saying that now you're moving toward that energy of putting it behind you, maybe getting back out with friends again. This could even be family or long-standing connections too, with the Cancer energy there. So that's what I'm seeing. In the position of your energy toward the situation, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is actually Pisces energy here. So for some of you, if this is a timeline, this could just be saying that you might be leaving something behind while the sun is moving through those first 10 degrees. So that would be the very end of February and very beginning of March. And again, like I said, this could be the same theme that I was feeling where you guys just might feel like you're not quite fulfilled in a certain area of life, possibly career, like I said, and maybe this is you just trying to, find something that's more fulfilling for you. Whether, like I said, it be that working smarter, not harder theme, or just actually, looking for something that maybe you could fulfill both needs, where, okay, you could get the financial security you want, but also something that speaks to you on a more spiritual level. Now, what's interesting is in the position of the environment, we have the Nine of Cups. So, more Pisces energy, actually, but at the same time, much sunnier disposition, right, between the two. So, the way I'm reading this together is to say, because the environment can represent someone else in the picture, but it could also just represent the energies at play having an impact on you. So, what I'm seeing here is this could just be saying that, if you take that faith and move forward, right, looking for something more fulfilling, then you will be met with some success in that regard. So, like I was saying there with that temperance energy, that feeling of having to have faith that things will work out the way that they need to, could be one of those things where, like I said, maybe you guys are just leaving a mindset behind, and in the process, it opens up more options for you. So like I said, it could be multiple things. Some of you leaving behind a mindset around finances and career. For some of you, maybe you did have a breakup recently, and maybe you're finally putting that behind you emotionally, and now that brings more happiness your way. Because to me, this is an energy usually that points to knowing your value, knowing what you bring to the table is what I usually say with the artwork in this card. And usually, when you get to that point, it attracts more things your way in a positive sense. So that's what I'm seeing there. And to be fair, I do have to mention as well, this could just even represent you guys just not really, these are both Pisces energies, and that's your 12th house. So this could just be you maybe in a bit of a dream state as well, maybe thinking things through, but not necessarily taking action right now. So that could also be what's in mind too, where you're really processing, okay, what moves do I need to make, right? And where's it going to get me? That could be how it is for some of you. Hopes or fears position, we have the Hierophant and the Ten of Pentacles. So Hierophant being the major arcana card for Taurus. So again, there's definitely a possibility that some of you are dealing with a Taurus. And then here we see the Ten of Pentacles, which is actually Virgo energy. So again, what I'm feeling here is that you guys just, and this is almost going to sound silly because who doesn't want this, right? But for me, this is just saying that you guys are hoping for that financial stability, right? And just security in general when it comes to your finances. Like I said, maybe you guys have just felt like you're not as far along as you should be. And like I said, you guys definitely have some heavy energy in your 10th house, but at least it's starting to alleviate as far as the pressure within there. And then like I said, obviously you guys have Uranus that's going to be in your second house for a while, so there could definitely be some shifts when it comes to finances. But yeah, this is what I'm seeing primarily here. Maybe this is for some of you just hoping for that stability in general. Because maybe for some of you, for example, maybe you've had to take on multiple jobs. Maybe that's what these 10 wands represent, where you haven't had that steady income. So you've been doing a bunch of different things. And maybe that's what that Ace of Wands is saying for some of you, which is to say, you're hoping to just have that one source of income so you don't have to feel so scattered and feel like you're just running yourself ragged. If that's the case, like I said, that having the temperance in that position is pretty key, as far as I feel like it will help work things out in your favor in that regard, especially, like I said, since we do have Jupiter moving through that sign of your career and social status. All right, in the outcome position, we have the Three of Wands, which is actually an Aries energy, and we have the Knight of Swords, which is Gemini energy. So, if we wanted just to look at this on a mundane level, this could just be saying that this is you waiting on communication. It could be as simple as that. But what I see here, if we want to dig a little bit deeper into that, this particular Aries energy for me represents a combination of Mars and the Sun. So, it's like that Leo energy, which is to say Mars is go, go, go. Whereas if you throw a little bit of Leo energy into the mix, it's like, okay, well, yeah, you could go out to them, but why not let them come to you, right? Almost like that Empress energy we see there as well. So to me, this could represent that you've put in your work, and now you're just waiting on the results of that. And that could be what the Knight of Swords is representing. So, for example, maybe you've put out your resume somewhere for a new job, right? Now you're just waiting on communication from that. Given that Mercury will be in retrograde, this card does tend to come out for me a lot when Mercury is in retrograde, given that this is the Gemini card and they're ruled by Mercury. And I always point out to people that this horse in particular is actually moving toward the past in any position you put it in the spread. So that also makes me think of the Mercury retrograde dynamic. So some of you could just be waiting on news that's been delayed. And if that's the case, it might come your way during the retrograde. And just try to be mindful of the fact, too, that this is a good energy to stay in anyway, regarding the fact that any communication you receive, you don't want to necessarily jump the gun and assume anything, because we will be dealing with that Mercury retrograde energy, too, through a decent portion of March. So something to keep in mind there, too, not to be too reactive if you do get some kind of news. Try to think it through and then make a move. All right. Moving on to your oracle cards. First, we have Treasure Island. There's the artwork, and the number is 9. Let's see what it says in the book. Sounds pretty positive on the surface, anyway. Alright, it says the law of attraction, bringing dreams into fruition, the result of positive thinking made manifest, abundance appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains, and the sharing of good fortune. The oracle's message: you've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now, as you enter this truly prosperous phase, where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. So, what was interesting to me as I was reading that was it was talking about hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. That made me think of the fact that I was saying here, these are 2 Pisces energy, which is your 12th house. And then also here, I was saying where this is like thinking about ways to work smarter, not harder, right? So maybe this is just representing that you have been doing the internal work. And now with that Temperance card, it could just be saying that now you're actually starting to see that play out in real life, or at least you will, as we move through the month of March. And obviously we see the indicator of the hard work there with the 10 of Wands and also the 3 of Wands. All right, the relationship message says your relationship is a treasure, providing even more than you need, but you may not see that right now. No matter how long you've been together, you and your partner are always discovering hidden gems about yourselves and each other. Now is a time of discovery. It's as if everything is in sync and everything is new again. Romance blooms and love is in the air. You can be assured that this partnership will bring you great gifts and valuable lessons. Keep your heart open. The message of this card is to celebrate love and what it teaches you. So, like I said, I didn't get a huge romantic relationship vibe in the spread, but for those of you who are looking for that, hopefully that resonated with you. All right, the prosperity message says at this time you can be confident that success is yours. Your ideas are all hitting the mark, and you're in a true manifestation period when you will see evidence of the seeds of prosperity you planted in the past. The appearance of this card in a reading indicates that your dreams and aspirations align with concrete signs of prosperity in the world of form. This is a very auspicious and fortunate time for business. Creative projects will flourish as inspiration strikes. Share your wealth with others, too. Generosity and gratitude should lead you now. So, again, a pretty supportive, positive message there as well. And, that does also bring to mind for me that you guys will have Venus moving through your sign, too, for a bit. So, and then it'll move into Taurus, I think around the second week of March. So that could help with your finances in that regard, too. All right. And the next card we have is Hummingbird Spirit. Be Here Now. This is from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. There's the artwork, and the number is 34. Okay. It says the hummingbird's wings beat so swiftly it can hover in seeming stillness as it drinks deeply from a flower. Hummingbird spirit comes to remind you that the beauty and sweetness of life is in the eternal now, the timeless present. Here and now you are becoming the person you wish to be, to have the experiences you wish to have. Focus your energy on the flower before you, for what you desire is being provided. Yes, there are blossoms everywhere. The choices can be dazzling. Hummingbird Spirit's message is that you have no need to go about in search of something better, for all that you require and desire is before you. You will notice as you become still, feeling your connection to Spirit who loves you unconditionally and will always provide for you. So, I do have to say, in general, when you have a lot of activity in your 12th house, that's a pretty good time to just try to be still and give yourself some time anyway. And before we know it, we'll be in Aries season, right? So, maybe this is just saying that that's a good time for that in general anyway, but hopefully that resonated with you guys. And the last thing we have is a mudra card. So the mudra you guys got for this month is the Kubera mudra. There it is there. The keyword for it is abundance, so sounds pretty supportive there too. Okay, let's see if there we go. So if you guys wanted to take a screenshot or pause it to read what it has to say, there's the information on it. But under benefits, it says clears the frontal sinuses and helps to balance left and right nostrils, improves sense of smell, sharpens inner vision and ability to more clearly see your path in life, helps create abundance, especially related to virtuous desires that take into consideration the welfare of all beings. So, that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you. I will put the name of the mudra in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there, guys. Once again, happy early birthday to those of you who celebrate March, and I'll see you guys next month. Bye.